If you've ever eaten anything made with sugar, salt, or flour, then chances are that you've used a Dangote product. As a Nigerian, the building you're in right now was probably built with a Dangote cement. All these are just some of the many products that Dangote Group manufactures. The conglomerate was founded by the Kano-born business magnate Aliko Dangote. He's one of the most popular black persons on earth, and with good reason. He's the richest man in Africa and also the richest black man on earth.
You made a lot of money now, but I guess it doesn't matter now because for you it is numbers in the banks, you know. You look at your bank statement and you know how many zeros here or it's not here or there.
But I don't even look at that at all. I have much more than 12, 13 billion, you know, and I said, okay, fine, all these numbers are just written numbers.
Yeah.
You know, and one day I went to a bank.
Yeah.
You know, at that time there were no restrictions of this, and I wrote a check and cash $10 million, and I took it home.
For yourself?
For myself, yes.
You cashed $10 million from the bank?
Yes.
Yes, and took it?
And put it in the boot of my vehicle, and I went home, and I opened it, and I look at 10 million, I said, that, okay, fine, now I believe I have money.
But beyond the suit and tie, the wealth and affluence, who is Aliko Dangote? Born on the 10th of April 1957, Dangote is the product of a marriage between two wealthy families. His mother, Maria Sanusi, was the granddaughter of Alhassan Dantata, the richest person in all of West Africa as of his death in 1955. His father, Mohammed Dangote, was a business associate of the affluent Dantata. He died 8 years after Dangote was born. He was born into a devoted Muslim family in Kano, one of the most affluent and religious cities in northern Nigeria. Dangote began his early education in the Islamic-oriented fashion and was tutored at the Sheikh Ali Kumasi Madrasa. He then went on to Capital High School in Kano, and at the age of 23, graduated from Government College, Birnin Kudu, in present-day Jigawa State. Having completed his elementary and secondary education in northern Nigeria, Dangote went to Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt, where he backed a degree in business studies and administration. After his graduation, Dangote returned to Nigeria and started his own company in 1977. This company that would go on to become the largest and most valued conglomerate in West Africa started as a small trading firm. That same year, in the bid to expand his building company, he moved to Lagos and began trading in commodities like cement, rice, and sugar, which he imported. His business was funded by a 500,000 naira loan from his uncle. You see, in 1977, 500,000 naira was equivalent to 750,000 US dollars. This is 30 times the money that Sam Walton used to start Walmart in America, which was about $25,000. This just shows that Dangote did not start as a pauper.
I came from a wealthy family. My late great-grandfather in the 1940s was actually the richest, West African. My late grandfather was one of the wealthiest Nigerian. The family name is Dantata. That's from my maternal side. My father too, was fairly rich, but he was both, in business and also in politics.
By 1981, his firm was so successful that he had incorporated other businesses and established the Dangote Group. His empire extended to foodstuffs, including pasta, wheat, cement, and haulage. Aliko Dangote's businesses was doing quite well at this point, but he felt something was missing in the way he ran his empire. So in 1996, he traveled to Brazil to study the manufacturing industry. This was a time when Brazil was a manufacturing powerhouse. His business model up till this time was solely anchored on the importation and selling of finished goods, where he made his profit from the difference in prices he bought and sold these commodities. When he returned from Brazil, the Dangote Group shifted its focus from importation to manufacturing, moving from a trading company to one of the largest industrial groups on the continent. It began building sugar and salt refineries, flour mills, and pasta factories. A year later, he bought the Benue Cement Company, from the Nigerian government. Dangote also commissioned the Obajana cement plant, currently the largest cement facility in sub-Saharan Africa. Under Dangote's leadership, the Dangote Group saw a massive expansion and currently has a presence in 17 African countries. The group has 4 companies listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange and has diversified interests sectors in cement, sugar, flour, salt, pasta, beverages, real estate, oil and natural gas, telecommunication, technology, fertilizer and steel. The group is one of the largest private sector employers in Nigeria. In 2023, Dangote commissioned the Dangote refinery, one of the largest in the world.
A notable milestone for our economy and a game changer for the downstream petroleum products market, not only in Nigeria, but the entire African continent.
This refinery sits on 2,635 hectares of land in Lagos State, Nigeria. At full capacity, it can process 650,000 barrels of oil per day. The refinery can meet 100% of Nigeria's refined product requirement when it reaches full capacity. Various news outlets have called it the most ambitious industrial project in all of Africa.
Millions of Nigerians are unhappy about higher fuel costs. They also hope the plant will ease shortages and end the country's petroleum subsidy program that they say cost taxpayers tens of billions of dollars every year.
If you don't agree, do tell us what other project is more ambitious than this. Dangote became Nigeria's first billionaire in 2007. In 2013, he added 9.2 billion to his wealth, becoming the 30th richest person in the world and the richest person in Africa, and was listed by Forbes as the most powerful man in Africa. Although he was born into a wealthy family, Aliko Dangote made his fortune from Dangote Group. He is currently still the richest man in Africa and the richest black man on earth, with an estimated net worth of $15.5 billion. Dangote has become a household name in Nigeria, and his products are so integrated into the economy that if it were to be withdrawn from the market today, it would be an economic suicide for the country. You see, Nigeria is a huge market. Aliko Dangote saw that and took advantage of that opportunity. However, Aliko Dangote's path hasn't been without its controversies. Critics argue that his success is partly due to preferential treatment by the Nigerian government. They claim that Dangote benefited from policies that stifle competition, such as import bans on certain goods which his companies happen to manufacture. In the early 2000s, the Nigerian government imposed high tariffs and later outright bans on imported cement. This was officially aimed at boosting the local cement industry. While this policy did encourage local production, it also conveniently positioned Dangote cement to dominate the market, as it was one of the few companies equipped to handle large-scale production at the time. Moving on to the sugar sector, a similar pattern emerges. Dangote Sugar Refinery enjoys a dominant position in the Nigerian sugar market. Critics point to the protective government policies like the high import tariff on sugar and the restriction on the issuance of new sugar import licenses. These regulations have effectively limited new entrants into the market, allowing Dangote Sugar to maintain a large market share. Furthermore, in 2012, it was reported that the Nigerian government granted Dangote Group an exclusive waiver to move goods across the border at a time when the border was officially closed. Such privileges have led to public outcry and allegations of favoritism, which critics argue distort free market principles and inhibits healthy competition. His refining project has also received massive support from the government. Critics have highlighted that this was an unfair advantage.
The only known contribution of Dangote Industries to the Obajana Cement was sourcing funding for the project using documents belonging to the Kogi state government. It is therefore our considered opinion that it was indeed a case of fraudulent acquisition.
Whatever one thinks of Dangote, he's currently the richest black man on earth and one of the most powerful persons on the continent. His company is currently the largest employer of labor in Nigeria with over 50,000 people on his payroll. And of course, he contributes billions of naira as taxes to the government. This is to say nothing about the charity giving he does with his Dangote Foundation. Dangote is an ardent lover of Africa who has preached his love for Africa in speeches and in cash investments and donations.
People to come in and invest because the opportunities are enormous. It's not only in oil or in copper or in coal. I mean, there are so many areas. I mean, you look at it today in Africa.
From the waters of Victoria's Falls to the pyramids of Egypt, his footprint can be seen everywhere on the continent. Dangote has been married and divorced twice, with 3 daughters and an adopted son. If there's ever a hall of fame for the biggest entrepreneurs, Nigeria will submit the name of Aliko Dangote, for he's the biggest name that the nation has produced so far. I know there are many more yet to come, and until then, let us celebrate the strides of Aliko Dangote. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, kindly share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and until I see you again, bye bye.